We have Gregori Явлинский, economist and former Russian presidential candidate for the Yabloko Liberal Party. Good to see you this afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to join us here on Sky News.
Hello. Nice to see you.
First of all, I want to ask you how Russia will react to President Biden today announcing that they're going to send 2,000 more troops to Poland and Germany. They've been very clear none of these troops will be in Ukraine to fight, but they will be in neighbouring countries to bolster Ukraine's defence.
The situation is extremely serious, and the possibility of war really exists. And what you tell me just now is one more step to the same direction. I think that it will not necessarily be, but the probability is very significant. The bottom line is that Putin and his entourage consider Ukraine a failed state or a country with a limited sovereignty. Putin believes that Ukraine should not go to Europe, but should be under the influence of Russia. And that is the key point of the whole situation.
We now understand that they were 4 Russian aircraft. The RAF have just confirmed that to us. Can you talk to us about what that's all about? Why would Russia be sending 4 Russian aircraft towards the UK? Is this a show of intimidation from them?
It's a kind of escalating the situation, because this is the kind of thinking that it is necessary to blackmail each other and to prepare in that way, to prepare the phone call between Putin and Boris Johnson. So to show that Russia is really prepared for something serious. And it is very significant to say that military formations of all branches of the armed forces, from 100 to 175,000, are concentrated around Ukraine, and units supporting the army are also being formed. That means that the situation is dangerous because even an accident can lead to a war.
Russia continue to engage in talks, but then they say that diplomacy is worthless. Why do they continue talking if they think that is the case?
It's talking is always better than the war. So talking must be as long as possible, and maybe they will prevent the war. I honestly don't believe that this war would happen, but these talks are very important because it's impossible to stop the situation without talking. So from that point of view, I think that the talks between Putin and Boris Johnson is a part of a deal, and that is a real thing. But whether it would change the situation or not, this is a big question mark.
These 4 Russian aircraft heading towards UK airspace and the United States announcing more troops in countries surrounding Ukraine. Why do you think that the war isn't going to happen?
That's what I want to stress, that that can happen because Putin thinks that Ukraine is not an independent country and must be under the influence of Russia. And this is the thing which is very far off reality and very far from current situation and very far from historical time at the moment. And that is a big problem. More than that, Putin thinks that a significant part of the territory of Ukraine, the eastern and central part, belongs to Russia. Such a concept of Putin is in principle a very serious and big mistake. It does not correspond to reality of historical time, as I told you. The goal of development of Russia is not to occupy Ukraine, but to become a modern democratic country where people live as a free personalities and without fear. But he is just realizing completely different policy. And this is very dangerous for the world and, first of all, for Russia itself.